Anyway, but that is our Entrepreneur Friday. We are having a little deli on in studio, rather. So it's a very inspirational story, Yuveka, the founder of Sandwich Nton Nton, Itumeleng Lekomamyane. I hope I said that right. Took a leap of faith to become an entrepreneur, hoping he'd make enough money to support his little girl. And it looks like that leap of faith is starting to pay off. He joins me now. Did I say your surname correctly?
No,
you're going to have to school me quickly, so when we end off, I get it right. Lekomamyane. Thank you. I won't forget, I hope. Thank you very much for joining us in studio this evening. A very interesting business here that you have, because you obviously have broken that stereotype that men can't cook or make a good sandwich, obviously. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about Sandwich Nton Nton and really how it started, or why.
Okay. So basically, Sandwich Nton Nton started back in 2019, so it was August the 13th. So the company just turned 6 months last week. So the company was inspired from me being unemployed, you know, me not being able to take care of myself, not being able to take care of my daughter. So I had to come up with a plan, you know, and because I had another company which was failing and not doing well at the moment, so I had to come up with something. I had to think of something that will actually be Itumeleng, something that will be unique, something that will be out there and say, okay, here is Itumeleng's product, and let the world see it. So I decided, no man, let me just think of something that is not on the streets, because I was like, okay, there's no jobs right now. Okay, so the only choice I have now is maybe becoming a street vendor. So I decided, okay, I will be a street vendor. I have nothing to lose. So I decided, okay, let me just start making of 10 sandwiches. Let me just go see how these sandwiches go. So I made the first batch of 10 sandwiches, went out there, tried to sell them, only sold 4. Came back with 6, you know, that was a very hard day. So I was like, no, man, do not give up, man. You managed to sell 4. What can stop you from maybe selling more? So I was like, okay, the following day, let me just make 15. 15, then the following day went into the rank, the MTN rank, started going taxi to taxi, making noise all over the place, you know, going all DJs, we won everyone. And then, that's how, and then that day I sold everything. Then the process continued. I just kept growing. Yeah. I started selling adding 4 and 5 sandwiches each day to the previous day. Yeah. So and then that's how it eventually started out.
Yeah, and obviously this is not cheap. You're saying you're unemployed. You've got no prospects of any financial income. Yeah. Where were you getting the money, or where was that first capital that you got to make that first batch of sandwiches?
Yeah. So basically, I had the last 800 Rand in my life, you know. So I had to decide, because usually I would pay the 800 Rand. It was my maintenance money, the agreed amount which I had to pay on a monthly basis. So on that particular month, I was like, no man, I've been struggling, you know. Every month is a hassle, trying to put this together, trying to take care of my daughter. So I was like, okay, no, let me just maybe try something. Let me take this 800 Rand and maybe risk it, you know. And then I risked it. I went to buy what I needed. I got all the stock. I got the containers. I got the breads. All that goes onto the breads. And then it picked up from there. So that 800 Rand now, I don't know how many times it has multiplied so far, you know.
I won't ask you for the exact figure, but it does sound like your financials are pretty stable at the moment. Yeah. Very briefly, what are the prospects for Sandwich Nton Nton? Do you want to keep it as something uniquely sold in the street corners, or are you planning on moving into somewhere? What is the plan?
Okay, so maybe in the next year or two, so I'm looking at maybe getting maybe a shop somewhere to actually operate from, because at the moment I operate from home, and then I also have guys I've employed. So maybe I can get a sandwich, a coffee shop at somewhere in the CBD, because maybe the CBD, that's where there is traffic and there's a free flow of people. And then also in the future, I would like to have a chain of food trucks, and the food trucks that are going to maybe travel around the country, go to events, go to the stadiums, you know, give the people an affordable product, give them a good product for only 20 bucks.
Wow, very, very amazing story, and they look very delicious. Yes. I must just say that he makes the sandwiches himself, and the partner does the baking, and the muffins and the scones look absolutely delicious. Thank you so much for your time there, Itumeleng Lekomamyane. I got that right.